1080p or 1080 progressive is definitely a high-resolution video format in screen standards. It really is one of the ATSC HDTV specified formats, including 720p, 1080i, and 1080p. If you are even casually interested in home theater, you no doubt already know the term 1080p, and, if so, you most likely are already misinformed regarding it. Common misconceptions being spread bring that there's no media to transport it, that you might want an enormous screen to learn from it, as well as on the entire you only shouldn't care about it. What the industry has endured in a charade is over and about the scope of this piece, but suffice it to say, should you not worry about 1080p now, you might. 1080p is here, it is currently, and contains been for quite some time. In order to understand 1080p, you first need a solid familiarity with 1080i, 1080 interlaced. Please bear around, don't cut to the chase, and keep on listening. Trust us, it will likely be worth it. 1080i versus 1080p. It's all regulated dependent on time. 1080i will be the highest resolution format from the HDTV ATSC specification, as well as the recently released HDTV and Blu-ray media. 1080p is frequently quoted as being a higher resolution than 1080i, despite the fact that coming from a certain perspective, which we'll touch on, that's true. Within the broad context it is not. In a very real way, 1080i and 1080p are identical resolution for the reason that both consist of a 1920x1080 raster. That is, the picture is comprised of 1080 separate horizontal lines, with 1920 samples per line, or pixels per line, based on your point of view. In other words, both 1080i and 1080p represent an image with 1920x1080 unique points of data in space. The main difference between I and P are only able to be appreciated within the time domain. In a true or native 1080i HDTV system, the temporal resolution is 60 Hz. The image is sampled, or updated should you prefer, every 1 to 60 of the second. As with any interlaced format though, only half the accessible lines are sampled, or updated, every 1 to 60 of a second. The capture device, say, a video camera, doesn't sample the whole 1920x1080 at once. Rather, it samples fields. Just one field consists of almost every other line from the truth. And then we possess the odds field that has lines 1, 3, 5, 7, etc. And the evens field which has lines 2, 4, 6, 8, etc. So, within an interlaced system, the camera samples one field, repeat the odds, then 1 to 60 of a second later, it samples the alternative field, the evens, then 1 to 60 of the second later it refreshes the odds, then 1 to 60 of the second later the evens, and so on. The alternating set of fields of the 1080i source each constitutes half the image. The shorthand with this format is 1080i 60. The topic being taken is updated every 1 to 60 of the second, but only half the line is useful for each update. It's one benefit and many drawbacks. The main one virtue of the format is its high subject refresh rate. Create a sporting event where the ball is traveling fast. We obtain an update on its position every 1 to 60 of a second. That's really good when compared with film's 24 Hz refresh rate. Even IMAX HD is only 48 Hz. The negative effects on an interlaced format would be that the alternating fields only truly complement each other when the subject is stationary. If it is, then your alternating fields sum to form a complete and continuous 1920 by 1080 picture. Everything lines up perfectly between your two fields. If the subject moves though, it will likely be in one position for one field and another position for the next. The intertwined fields no longer complement one another and artifacts, for example, jaggiest, line teeter, as well as additional visual iterations, really are a normal unwanted effect from the interlaced format.